Hello everyone, Aarontmarshall here with the in the BPL. Sorry, I'm getting my words mixed up. And this is the Championship division, and with me I have Mr. Crizzle
Hello.
and none only than Mr. Star himself as well.
Hello.
How are we this evening, fellas?
Doing good, doing good. Are you alright?
Yeah, all good, good. This is we've got a few things to get through, so why don't we just jump straight in? And we are jumping straight in with the California Bastiodons, not Bastodians.
No, not Bastiodons, Bastiodons.
No, Bastiodons. As we all know, Omar was in the Premier. Well, so shall we say kicked out of the Premier because
he was
of
relegated.
his position.
Yeah, relegated.
But I'm pretty sure that Omar will do well. Do you guys think? Judging by his play style, I'm pretty sure he'll do well in the championship.
Yeah, I'm confident Omar has tools, and especially with the team he's drafted to get back up.
Yeah, I think he's more than capable of bouncing up. I think probably by his own admission, he would have done a lot better last season if he hadn't picked a totally ridiculous team. The steel psychic monotype was just never going to work.
Truly, and coming from that, we actually do have the Metagross again in his team. He does love that Pokemon.
It's a very Oma team.
It is a very Oma team. I believe there's actually some old faces like the Chandelier, the Aerodactyl, Hitmontop. Yeah. So those Pokemon are quite familiar to him. But yeah, let's go through his team. So as we can see, Aerodactyl is the Tailwind setter in this team. Chandelier is the Trick Room setter in this team. His team is quite slow. There are a few fast Pokemon like Galvantula and Ninetales and Aerodactyl. What's it called? Ludi in the rain, of course, and Maractus in the sun. But he has got a bit of a slow mode as well with the camera up to the Metagross. I'm not sure what speed tiers Zatu is, to be honest.
It's like a middle speed tier, I think. It's because it gets both Tailwind and Trick Room, I believe, as well. So he's got another option there with that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he's got some forms of speed control as well, with like Galvantula going for Electro Web or the what's that string shot?
String shot, yeah.
Yeah, string shot. I'm not sure what to make of the hail though. He's got hail, but no Slush Rush.
Yeah, I was saying this before we got started. I'm a little bit confused about the inclusions of Ludicolo and Alolan Ninetales, to be honest. Those are the only two standout things that kind of confuse me a bit. Like, I know he's got Rain Dance setters there, but ideally, if you've not got one that has an ability that'll set up Rain, you want something with Prankster.
Yeah.
In an ideal world. I mean, maybe he's not too bothered about priority and getting the weather up, but yeah, it's just a bit sort of puzzling. But I mean, I'm sure he's a man with a grand plan, is Oma, so he'll have something up his sleeve for them.
Yeah, indeed. Like, I don't know. I think there's too many weather going on because he's got sun, hail, and rain potentially. I don't know. I just think that's one too many.
Yeah, he's gonna be like Michael Jackson in an F song, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, most definitely. Chris, what do you make of the team?
So going by his weathers, he's got literally everything. He's got Ludicolo in rain, he's got Lycanroc in sand, he's got Maractus in sun, and he's got Alolan Ninetales in snow. So it might be bought as a counter for the weather teams he's inevitably going to face.
That's not a bad.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah,
that is true.
Looking at it. I mean, I like the team.
Yeah.
The fact he's got, is it 3 megas in there?
1, 2, and 3.
3.
Yes. Yeah.
3 megas, so you don't really know one you're going to be prepping for.
Yeah, that's true.
You could prep for a Mega Metagross, and then he pulls out like Bulldoze with camera up. Sets off a weakness policy, and then Mega Evolves the Gamarupts. So like he's got a lot going on, and he can pull off quite a few different things. So you've got to prep for 3 megas on top of tech, which he's bought in the past.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, obviously knowing Omer and having battled him quite a few times, I know his sort of play style, and like this could be a really tricky team as long as he actually remembers what abilities do what.
Yeah. And I suppose you've got to be careful as well. Like, let's say if you're going up against a rain team, but you bring your Ludicolo to help in that situation, but then the likes of Camerupt and Chandelure are actually rubbish in the rain, and so is Aerodactyl and Lycanroc. So you're putting yourself kind of like in the back foot, you know. And then the same scenario if it's a Sun team you're going up against, Metagross, Ninetales are not very good in those situations. So like you said, it's a really cool and sort of niche team, but he's got to be careful with which Pokemon he brings, you know, and not to sort of cancel himself out with the weather.
Yeah, he could very easily get like trapped in if he like preps incorrectly, and whoever he's playing predicts him correctly, and he's just like stuck with like the wrong foe.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But no, like you said, there's 3 megas in there. 3 very terrifying megas. The Aerodactyl mega was really great for me last season, should I say? Oh no, it wasn't technically last year.
It was last year.
Yeah, technically it was. Yeah, but it did really well for me, and you know, its base speed is nothing to joke around. I think it's 150 or 155, one of those two. So it's stupid fast, and it actually outspeeds things in Tailwind. That's how fast it is. And then he has got some fake out options with the Hitmontop and Ludi. He's got the Wide Guard, of course, as well, which is always useful to have. I'll be quite interested to see how he uses Xatu, because I've never used it ever. So I'll be interested to see. Might go for it'll probably get the normal psychic moves like skill swap or screens. I don't know.
He was speaking about it last night. He's used Xatu in singles before, so it sounds like he sort of has used it on a few occasions and knows what he's doing with it. So I guess we just got to trust the process on that one.
Definitely. But no, a solid team. Just going to be. It's just going to be really interesting to see how he plays with this team. And hopefully he doesn't sort of trip himself over with the different weathers. But no, let's jump over to the next team, which is the Kyogre Canucks. Is that?
That's right. Yeah, you got
it. This is I've forgotten whose team this is.
Rylex.
Okay, this is Rylex team. Straight off the bat, you can see the Venusaur there. You can see the Zard and the Rotom Wash, and those 3 are really good together as a trio. Quite devastating. There's a Drifloon, Driftblim even. Driftblim's quite cool. Is Driftblim the one that gets unburdened? It is, isn't it?
Yes,
yeah. There's no terrain setter.
No, but there's definitely ways he could proc.
Yeah, I'm sure there is.
Unburdened there, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm sure there's some thing that he can do to proc the unburden. So in terms of speed, of course he's got the Zard, so Zard gets the Sun Up if it is Charizard Y, and he can get that Drought ability activated, which then of course activates Chlorophyll on Venusaur, or he can just mega the Venusaur in fact and keep just Zard as itself. Redirection with Togepi, always good to have. He's got Tailwind with the Jumpluff and Driftblim, and the little bird actually, Chatot. Chatot. Yep, I believe that gets Tailwind as well.
He's got Icy Wind on the Alolan Persian as well, which is always a good form of speed control.
Yeah, Alolan Persian. Me and Chris were talking about your one, and its move pool is so good. It gets such a good move pool. It's one of those Pokemon that you don't really think much of, but it's actually it's really disruptive, kind of like Umbreon.
It's its ability for court. It just you look at its base stats, you're like, it's alright, and then it gets its defense doubled, and you're like, oh my god, this thing will not die.
Yeah, most definitely. Jirachi, I believe that gets Trick Room.
Yeah, Trick Room, Follow Me, Skill Swap. Obviously, he's got Serene Grace, so you could do some fun things there.
Yeah, so quite interesting to have 2 redirectors. Quite interesting.
I can see him probably going down the Jirachi route, I think more than likely you're going to see the Y version of Charizard come out, but as you're saying with Meme's Charizard, obviously Meme has it in the Premier Division. It's the bonus of having that as available as a Mega is you can run it in either mode, and your opponent doesn't know until you click the button.
Yeah. And then Donphan and is that Gliscor? I want to say, yep, Gliscor.
Yeah.
I love those Pokemon. Donphan, I've got a soft spot for because it's I love its ability. It's the one where that's it, Zanville. Yeah. So
stick bright powder on it and it'll just stand there and never be hit.
Yeah. It gets double team as well, which is really cool. So if you do like one double team, you're gonna really struggle to hit it. But yeah, it looks like Rylex sort of catered to other teams that have sand, for example. So like if he's going against the sand team, he can just bring Donphan, which works wonders. And Gliscor, sorry. Gliscor gets it as well, doesn't it? Yeah. So he's got 2 Pokemon there that can work in sand. Which of course Zard doesn't really like those kind of teams, so he can just bring them. Really cool team.
Or has he got Gligar?
Is that which was Gligar?
Gligar's the baby, Gliscor's the big angry.
Oh, sorry, it's Gligar then. Sorry, I always get it mixed up.
I thought it was Gliscor. I was so used to
Gliscor. Yeah. Gliscor's the bigger one. Yeah. So that's Gligar. But yeah, what do you make of the team, Chris?
The only thing I don't get is why he's got 2 redirections. I think Togepi was 10 points, and something else for 10 points better than Togepi. He's already got an Eviolite user in Gliscor. Like we were talking about where your items go on certain ones, and if you've got 2 mons that need to hold the Eviolite, I think Togepi here is probably a little bit of a waste of space.
Yeah,
however,
not really necessary.
All the other mons fit this team quite nicely.
They do,
Yeah, Jumpluff is great support. It's got Rage Powder as well, so that is another redirection, but it's a different kind of redirection. And in the sun, it's the fastest thing going with Sleep Powder. But overall, I really like the team. Like one change, I'd say you probably look at in week 5, but come week 5, you're looking at probably changing your entire team sometimes. So I don't really know what Shatot does and what it brings, but it's an interesting pick. And
I'm pretty sure it gets Parting Shot,
Yeah, it does. Yeah. It's a very strange Pokemon actually, but it does get like really odd moves. Like the moves are just like, why have you got that? Like Parting Shot. But no, I really like the team. Like Drifblim is a really sort of frustrating Pokemon because if you haven't got like a really strong Ghost or Electric type, it's going to give you a bit of a headache with like Will-O-Wisps, Trick Room, of course, Ally Switch.
Yeah. It gets Strength Sap as well.
That's the one I was trying to remember. Yeah, Strength Sap, which is of course just so frustrating to deal with if you're a physical attacker. But yeah, I really like the team. Yeah, I agree. I don't think Togepi was probably necessary, but then Rylex might not want to use Jirachi for the redirection. But yeah, overall, really cool team. I like it.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
it's a good team.
Okie doke. over to the next team now is the Dragonites, and coach is. Sorry, Matthew, you're gonna have to help me with these.
Cage Dragon.
It's Cage Dragon. Okay. So yeah, really, really interesting team here. I can see the first thing actually that caught my eye was the three ghosts, three ghost types in there, which is a bit worrying. But I can see why he's gone for these three ghost types in particular, though. And we'll get to that. And he's got. I can see a few things lacking, but let's start off with. So we got Espeon as the psychic type there, Dragonite as a dragon flying, Mawile, which of course can be a mega and be a steel fairy, which is a steel fairy, should I say? Colossal, rock and fire, and then you got the Rhyperior, ground and rock. No, just ground. No,
ground and rock.
Ground and rock.
Yeah, you're right the first time.
Gallade. Fighting and psychic, and then Mimikyu with the ghost and fairy, Scrafty dark and fairy,
dark and fighting,
Sableye fighting. Sorry, yeah, I said fairy again. Sableye ghost and dark, and then Mischievous, which is just dark if I remember. Ghost even, yeah, and then
Krokorok, yeah.
Krokorok, yeah. I'm trying to remember. Krokorok,
dark and ground,
which is dark and ground. So. I can see a lot of double and triple, but double typings going on, which can be really problematic, but it can also work really well.
Can be, but I really like how there's a lot of like things that synergize here, which is really, really nice.
Yeah.
I see the potential for Dragonite and Colossal fun, but I think you've got to be really careful there. Obviously, it was something I used in Season 2, and Aquajet then to a G-Max Colossal still did a fair bit, so I'd be scared to see what it would do to just a non-G-Max. It might absolutely melt it.
It might just take like, I don't know, 3/4 of your
HP. So maybe that's not the way he's going to run it. But when I saw it, that was my first thought. I was like, oh my god, absolute madman. Obviously, Mega Mawile with the huge power is just
big threat.
Straight, it's scary good. But also there's like Gallade, which can mega. There's a great potential there that where he could. I'm sure there's something there that gets beat up. You could beat up into a justified Gallade and then mega it, and you've got a mega with like maxed attack, which would be very, very scary.
I think the Krokorok can get beat up if I remember, and maybe Scrafty, maybe. Actually, it should do. It's a dark type. It should get beat up.
Krokorok, Mimikyu, and Scrafty all get beat up.
Oh yeah, Mimi, of course, yeah. So, but yeah, of course, like I suppose the one thing is that he hasn't got. Oh no, he has got Tailwind actually. Sorry, I was gonna say he hasn't got it, but technically he has. Yeah, Dragonite does get it. Trick Room, he's got with Mini.
He's also got Quash on Sableye as well, which is like probably one of the better forms of speed control considering it's Prankster.
It is, yeah. Gallade, of course, gets Trick Room. Let's not forget, and Espeon. Yeah, it's quite a slow team. It's predominantly slow. I think Espeon is actually the fastest Pokemon there, at the base speed of, I want to say, 85.
110.
110.
Oh, bloody hell, is it that quick?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. I always forget how quick it is. Yeah, so 110. The others are like fairly slow, like Malware's 50. Mimikyu's pretty quick as well, but Scrafty's really slow as well. Colossal, of course, without the ability being procced. But it's a really strong and like really cool team. But I think he's going to struggle at times. Like, I think like the dark types will be coming out against him. But then again, he has got 2 dark types to sort of resist. And then, I don't know. I think like ground types are going to be a bit of an issue, maybe.
Yeah, I think ideally with what he's wanting to go with, I think Miss Magius gets Levitate, right?
Yeah.
So he does have a Levitate user in there, but something like a Bronzong or something with a Levitate, or maybe one of the Latias or Latias would have been a really nice addition here. You could have just really protected Rhyperior.
Yeah.
and more WoW with that, ally switches and fun things like that. But
Yeah.
no, I don't. I definitely do. I quite like the team. I'm excited to see what it'll do. It's definitely one of the more out there teams.
Yeah, definitely.
But
It's very physical actually, isn't it? Looking at it now, like Colossal and Espeon are actually the only special attackers that hit. Misdreavers, sorry, but like the heavy hitting special attackers are Espeon and Colossal, whereas the rest are predominantly like hard hitting physical attackers. You definitely want to bring like your intimidators against this team because it's they hit really hard. Most of them, like Scrafty hits hard, Gallade, Viperia hits like a truck, and then of course, like you said, huge power with Mega Mawile was just terrifying.
Scary.
Yeah.
The one thing I really like about the team, and I'll go into what I don't like about it as well, but I think I've added up that it has 18 immunities.
Oh,
wow.
So there is a lot of pivoting potential in the team. Like you see an incoming normal attack or ghost attack, or you see that incoming move. There's that potential to pivot out into something and just be like, nothing to me, free switch.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of immunities which can't be understated on how good that is. But like that, all those immunities come at a price, and that price is that he's really limited on the overall amount of types he's got.
Yeah.
Because of the amount of double ups and the amount of dual types that have doubled up, he's missing, I think it's about 7 different types.
Yeah.
And he hasn't completed the fire, water, grass core at all. He's got literally 1 fire type. So
Yeah.
So although you got the pivoting for certain moves with quite a few mons, you also are missing the pivoting for resisting overall moves. Like I think Series 10 bulky waters are like your bog standard mons that you're switching to take a hit.
I was literally just about to say a good Pokemon that would fit in this team is Gastrodon.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it can actually protect like Colossal and Viperia against those water type attacks, and Crocorock. So I was literally just thinking that. But no, it will be interesting to watch this team though, regardless. It's actually like really, it's such a hard hitting team. Like they're gonna hit you really hard unless you put a stop to them quickly. And if Trick Room goes up, then I think you're in a bad position because this team likes to be in Trick Room.
Yeah.
And once that Trick Room goes up, they're gonna start hitting you really hard. Like. That Viperia, Mega Mawile, Gallade, Scrafty, even Colossal, they all hit really hard. Even Mimikyu actually can pack a punch. Yeah, exactly.
Other than probably the Espeon and the Mismagius, I think everything in that team can function in one way or another. So,
it can. But no, definitely one to look out though. I'm really interested to watch it. This person's games, definitely. Cage Dragon, wasn't it?
That's the one. Yeah.
Yep. Sorry, Dragon. But on to the next team.
Moving on. Yeah.
We have the Knights of Cydonia.
Yeah, I'm excited to see this team. Very excited.
Yes. So this. Oh God, whose team is this?
It's Jabba.
Jabba, God.
Yeah.
It's because he changed the name, didn't he?
Yeah, it's Jabba with, of course, Weo is going to be subbing in for the first 2 weeks.
Yeah, so Weo's taken over for the first couple of weeks. All of those who don't know, this is just to relieve some pressure off of Jabba at the moment. But Jabba has put together such a really cool team. Chris, do you want to start with this one?
yeah, like this is the kind of team I would draft.
Yeah, do you know what? I look at these
Yeah.
Pokemon, I'm like, did Crizzle do this?
Yeah, he was so happy when he saw the Deoxys pick go.
Yeah. I was even happier when like Tornadus went with it. I was just like, oh
Yeah.
Yes.
yeah, this is definitely the kind of team I draft. Like there's just your Deoxys attack and your Tornadus. Like turn one Tailwind, and then you're gonna hit something very hard.
Yeah.
Something's going down. Like you just don't outspeed a Deoxys attack in Tailwind. It's just
No.
Yeah.
100,
It's
it's
not
like
happening, it's not
150
happening.
base speed, is it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
something like that.
It's stupid, but it's crazy. The big spaghetti noodle man at the top there.
I think there's one Mon that got drafted that's faster than it, and that's an Unburden Excelgor.
Yeah.
But
Crikey.
yeah, that's just not happening.
No.
So I got very excited to see that. And at the opposite end, he picked up the Copperaja, which so like he's got a very fast mode, and then he's got super slow with Hippopotas and Copperaja there too. So
Yeah.
I love this team. There's just it like okay, fine. Set up Trick Room. You got a really angry Copperaja just ready to hit you hard.
Yeah, with a very
Yeah.
wide move pool. I don't know about, obviously Houndoom's a mega option there. I don't know what Houndoom's like sort of speed, base speeds are, but I think Houndoom I think sort of works in both Trick Room.
95,
Is it
so
95? So it can be run slow, I guess, but
Yeah.
But yeah, like and to get Ivysaur on water, I'm interested to see how he utilizes the two of them.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's definitely like a really cool team. I can see like a couple of things that may, I don't know, like the Durant, for example. Personally, I've never really rated Durant out of Dynamax, because what you really want to do is have the hustle ability, because hustle just you hit like a truck, you know, when that ability is activated. But unfortunately, it has also that side effect of the accuracy, so it can miss. And of course, in Dynamax, you never miss. So that's why Durant has always been a better Dynamax Pokemon than not. But not only that, he's got two steel types. Like you said, he's got that Copperaja. I know they're like different speed tiers, but I don't think Durant is like necessary in this team. But I don't know what you guys think.
Go on, Chris. I'll let you go first.
Okay, yeah. So I think it balances his team quite well. Like if you look at his overall weaknesses, he's only weak to ground. And that's from having two different steel types that offer different modes. Both are very defensive, but as you say, one you can use in Trick Room, and the other you're going to be using like Under Tailwind mode likely. And yeah, I get the problem with Hustle, but if you're worried about moves missing, just run Swarm and a Focus Sash, so your bug moves are going to hit super hard.
Yeah. I think there's also an option there as well if you did want to go the Hustle Life Orb route, is there might be a mon on the team that gets Gravity, but you can always run Gravity next to it, and then that's going to improve your accuracy a little bit.
Yeah.
It's that Deoxys that's got Gravity.
Oh well, yeah, support support a Deoxys attack. Let's go.
Oh man. But I think Jabba's done the same thing as what Omar did, though. I don't know if you guys have noticed. So he's got a Swift Swim Pokemon against those rain teams. He's got a Chlorophyll Pokemon against the sun teams. He's got the Dracozolt, which, he's got the sand anyway. But, he's got that not to bring the Hippopotas if he's going against the sand team. He's like, oh, they're sand anyway, so I'm just going to leave it. So he's done this sort of similar kind of thing. And then Hitmonlee, I I don't know actually. Does Deoxys get terrain?
No.
You just said it gets gravity, so it might get anything.
It might get Psychoturn, I don't know, but
I don't know.
just a point on the weather. I think Torn gets Rain Dance as well, so like you can always go the classic Aarontmarshall Season 2 route of
yes.
Genie sets up weather, Kingdra sweeps everything.
Yeah. Oh, actually, Houndoom gets Sunny Day, of course, doesn't it? So if he wants to
gets solar power as well if he
Ivysaur
decides to mega it.
Yeah. So that's an interesting thing to think about. Like you said, his only mega is Houndoom, but not a terrible mega.
No, I don't think that's the worst thing ever either, because he's got such like physical and special attacking strength. You know, there's like 3 major ones here that are just gonna really like hit so hard, and well, 4 if you include Copper Hydra as well, like the Mega Houndoom Dracozolt, Kingdra. You got the Deoxys, and then it's just I really do like this team a lot. I just hope that Jabba doesn't get to week 7 and yeet the whole thing into the bin and pick something much worse.
He's got redirection as well. Let's not forget with Wartortle. So that's something that's always good. He can get set up with I don't know, like Dracozolt with does he get Dragon Dance? Not Drake. Yeah, Dracozolt. I presume it gets Dragon Dance. No, actually it doesn't, if I remember. No. I don't think it does. No, it doesn't get Dragon Dance. So I don't know. He can get set up in different ways. Let's say. He's got coaching from Hitmonlee, which is always useful. He's got a nice range of special attackers with, Kingdra, Ivysaur, Houndoom, even more Wartortle if he wants, and Tornadus, of course. Let's not forget Tornadus. It does hit pretty hard. Yeah. Houndoom's special attack, if I remember, it is something ridiculous though, like 135 or something like that.
It's high, but the megas is really high, and then as I said, like solar power on top of that. Like if you he can quite easily protect that thing with the Wartortle or under the sun. Obviously, Ivysaur it gets chlorophyll, right? Ivysaur does it?
Yeah.
Obviously, you can run like sleep powder with that and put something to sleep so that Mega Houndoom can just wreck everything. So I think it's a really well-rounded team. I think
it is. Yeah.
Obviously, we've not looked at everyone's yet, but I will say this is probably my favorite of the 8.
I would say this is probably the sort of a team that will consistently win. I will say. I mean, not everyone, of course, plays the same, so everyone has different play styles. But when I look at this team, I think, this is going to be quite difficult to go up against.
Yeah, I think because Jabba's put himself in a really good position to try and get promoted back to the Premier Division, in my opinion.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, most definitely. Most definitely. But no, well done, Jabba, on picking a great team. On to the next one, which is the Scuba Squirtles. And this is Niels' team, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right,
I got one right. This is Niels' team. Niels' was from Season 3 as well, of course. And relegated down to the Championship. But with a team like this, it looks like he's set and ready to come up back in the Premiership.
We're gonna disagree, Mr.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
There's quite a few. Sorry, I'm just noticing some things here. When you first look at it, you're like, "Oh, that's strong. Oh, that's strong." Like Marshadow, for example. We all know.
Don't be silly.
It's strong. It's a great Pokemon.
Yeah, it is.
Sylveon, a really strong, supporting but also offensive Pokemon. Volcanion. Matt, you know a lot about that Pokemon.
Volcanion's a really strong one, and obviously Breloom as well. We saw its destructive power that Silly had with it last season. So
so there are some. When I look at it, I think, wow, they're really strong. But then I can't see much synergy going on, and some triple grass type as well.
I
don't know.
I was saying beforehand, I don't want to discredit Niels at all. Obviously, he's a more than capable player, and again, like we said with some other teams, obviously they have a plan up their sleeves of what they want to do with it, and it'll be really great to see how it transpires and what they do. But I look at it and I'm just really not too sure like what works together and what it's supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
I see like at least three, like is it 4 ground type weaknesses, which is
that's
really
1,
quite
2,
scary
3.
in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, he does have the ground weaknesses, but then I suppose he's got the Grookey to help out with terrain,
the
to
terrain.
reduce the damage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
but still, it's still too many ground weaknesses, and he hasn't got any flying types either to sort of. I always think that the Decidueye is flying, but it's
No,
not a flying.
it's grass
It's
ghost.
because it's a bird, so you're
Yeah, I
like,
know.
why is it not flying? But yeah, so yeah, the ground weakness isn't great. It's not great. He does help out Delphox.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's one.
with the water absorb from Volcanion, but yeah, I don't know. It's quite a difficult team to maybe like organize, or does that make sense? Like,
So I was saying, like, I think there's obviously a lot of heavy hitters there, and I think if he finds a sweet spot with what's his best 6 and what's going to be the best 6 against certain teams, obviously. I think just sort of looking at it without knowing any of that and seeing anything of how the team plays is a little bit difficult to see what it's supposed to be doing. I see what you're saying with the Grookey, bring for terrain to, stop the ground type damage, but then that means you're bringing Grookey to a game. It's not really going to do a lot, and then there's 3 fire weaknesses there that potentially is Silvally. Silvally's steel type, right? So it's technically 4. Unless he's got the
any type.
Yeah, it's any type, of course. Yeah.
Like the issue I've got with the team is it's got 7 weaknesses in total.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's got 7 weaknesses in total. On top of that, he's got a Grookey, which like Series 10, my rule of thumb is whatever you pick is gonna have to be able to KO.
Yeah.
Is Grookey really going to be able to take anything out with like base 65 attack, base 40 special attack? Going to struggle. Like slap an Eviolite on that, you maybe survive 2 hits if you're lucky. It's not a good pick. I mean, I know he's picked it for the terrain, but it's just I don't think it's going to do him too well this season. But he's got Sylveon, which is going to hit really hard. It's a great fairy type. And he's got Marshadow with the Technician. Moves, so
Breloom as well with the same.
He's got he's got ones that are going to hit hard, but it's just the support around them isn't great. And he's got a decent tailwind setter in Decidueye because you can't fake it out. But looking at the team overall, it doesn't really want to be in Trick Room, so he's gonna have to set up Tailwind. So you're thinking Decidueye coming every week to set up Tailwind. And was it? I don't know. Niels took over from Lat last season. I don't really know. I mean, I'm struggling to see what the full process was, but obviously I'd never write a team off on.
No, exactly.
This team is gonna really appreciate the week 7 trades.
Yeah, I mean, I think Walrein is always a Pokemon to respect, though. If you let that thing get a belly drum off, you can be in big trouble, especially if you haven't got a Pokemon that can do super effective damage.
Yeah, you've got Spirit Shotgun on Decidueye as well, which I think if he uses that correctly, I think he could really use it to his advantage.
Exactly, yeah. I can see, and actually that brings me to the Zeb Striker, of course, which actually supports the Wolverine so that it doesn't get hit by those electric type attacks. And it's weak to grass. No, is it weak to grass? I don't think it is because it's water ice, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it wouldn't be.
Yeah, it's weak to grass. But
Oh, it is. Okay. Yeah. So like, actually, that in itself as well, he's got to be careful when setting his own terrain because then you're boosting your opponent's grass type attacks to hit Wolverine. You know, so that's something he'll have to be sort of mindful of. The Toxtricity and the Zeb Striker, you know, those two can be paired up together. Toxtricity can go for like discharges and then boost that lightning rod and boost its special attack, which will be quite a cool strat. But yeah, Sylveon's probably like the coolest Pokemon in this team, and it's like one of those Pokemon that you've got to respect a lot because it can be quite disruptive, like Umbreon. It can do like similar things to Umbreon, like Yawn, and there's something else it can do that Umbreon does, but I can't remember. What's that eyes thing? Baby doll eyes.
Baby doll eyes.
Yeah, so it can be quite disruptive. But yeah, Delphox. Personally, I've never rated Delphox. I think it's a subpar Pokemon. I think the other starters are better than it. But yeah. He hasn't got a Mega, has he?
No.
No, I just noticed he hasn't got a Mega. But I mean, that's okay. You don't always need a Mega, but
No, they're not so much all or nothing, to be honest. I don't think.
Yeah, exactly. But no, yeah, I do wish Niels best of luck though. And I will be interested to like watch his matches, you know, to see how he plays with this team.
Yeah, exactly. I think the same here.
Because I believe that the Pokemon that you choose, you know, sort of a lot about anyway. Or in my case, this year you've chosen some Pokemon you know nothing about. But yeah, definitely a team to watch though. I will be watching closely, and the Silvally actually he can use it however he wishes, you know.
Yeah. So that covers some of the weaknesses.
The weaknesses, yeah. So he'll probably be like bringing the Silvally like week in and week out just to cover for those weaknesses, you know. That's probably a Pokemon to do that.
Yeah.
But no, on to the next team, which is the Razzle Dazzle Salazzles.
Yeah.
Now,
greatest logo in the whole league. Can I just?
It's such a good logo. Such a good logo. Who did that one? Was it me?
It was Dave.
It was Dave.
Yeah.
Such a good logo. I love how like the Salazzle's just like proper like sassy. And this, whose team's this? Sorry,
This is Joe.
Joe's. Okay, so this is Joe's team. Matt, what are your first thoughts on it?
Straight away, I see the Electros, and it just brings back many happy memories. Again, I think this is a really, really good, like, well-rounded team. The Mega Burnett pick, obviously, is in my own team in the Premier Division, and that is just a scary thing on its own. If Joe can get the right usage out of that, it can be an absolute monster. I guess the next big thing that stands out is the Weezingala Regigigas, which... I mean, I've not used it at all in Series 10, so I don't know if it's as effective as it was, but I think it's something you've always got to respect going against him, that he may, choose to bring in, Weezingala having neutralizing gas just on its own can be problematic as it is, so it's definitely something people are going to have to consider. I see some pretty good, some good synergy just all around. I think there's definitely potential to run that Aselgar and Maggot Salamence together for some fun round techs. Just whack round on a max special attack Aselgar, and then obviously Mega Salamence with round, it becomes a flying type round. Really catch a few people out. There's some really fun techs you could do. I'm a little bit unsure around the Kecleon and throw picks. I think maybe they were just to make up the sort of point values. I'm not really too sure what they're going to be doing there, but again, I don't know too much about either of the Pokemon, so I won't begin to try and write them off. But yeah, no. Again, I really like this team. I think Joe's put a lot of thought into it, and it's going to be really exciting to see how he plays because he's obviously a friend of Silver's, and from what I've heard, they play very similarly. So we know how stally Silver was last season. So it'll be interesting to see if Joe sort of goes
up with something.
Goes down the same route.
He's got a Vaporeon there. Anything can happen with that thing in stall.
Yeah. Vaporeon is quite the bulky Pokemon. Quite hard to break if you haven't got, a grass or electric. But no, like you said, Matt, like the Regigigas and Weezing, yes, it's probably better. Well, actually, it's not probably. It is better in Dynamax format. However, like you said, you still have to respect it because Regigigas can hit so hard.
Yeah.
And when that ability is not, in the air, and Weezing itself is, it's a pain to deal with, with that neutralizing gas. But and also it's really good with its Misty Terrain ability, which then of course can proc a Selgor's Unburden ability, making it even faster than it needs to be. It doesn't really need that extra speed, to be honest, but it can outspeed pretty much anything. Even in Tailwind, probably it will outspeed things. And then that brings me on to Whimsicott. So he's got the Tailwind there in case he needs it. He's got a really well-rounded off team. The Trick Roomers, of course, Whimsicott can do it, but also Bennett, Prankster, if he wants to mega it, can do it. Actually, he doesn't even need to Prankster. He can just go for it if he wants. I do like the Salamence. The Salamence, of course, is Mega. It can be the Mega, and Mega Salamence is an absolute beast. Yes, it's got that 4 times weakness to Ice, but let's not forget he's got the excuse me, my voice. He has got the Magneton, which can resist those Ice type attacks, and Vaporeon can as well. Let's not forget. So he's got 2 Pokemon there that can always switch in if he feels threatened by an Ice type move. And Mega Salamence in Tailwind is going to be really difficult to deal with, especially if it's a special one with Hyper Voice. It's going to be quite a pain, really. Mega Salamence is very quick. I think its base speed is like 120, if I remember off the top of my head. So in some scenarios, he might not even need the Tailwind. And then Kecleon, like as you were saying, Throw, I don't understand. I think the other one's better. Sulk, yeah. Personally, I've always preferred Sulk. But Kecleon is actually a really interesting Pokemon. Kecleon is one of those Pokemon that does some really odd moves, and I think it's one of the. I don't think it's the only one, but it's one of the only normal types that gets Trick Room as well. So that's something to sort of like think about, with Kecleon. Yes, it's a normal type, but it can actually Trick Room. And it also does this really niche move called Reflect type. That's it. Which is really cool. You can just change your type. And let's not forget its ability as well, Protein, which changes its types when it
the move it uses.
When it does the move. Yeah. So similar to what's it called? Greninja. Yeah. So it's a really niche Pokemon. It's a little bit of a sort of one of those Pokemon where you think, what are you gonna do? Like, are you gonna ally switch in my face? Are you gonna? I don't think it gets ally switch, but you know what I mean. It's one of those type of Pokemon where you're like, not sure what to expect from it.
Yeah, if you see it on the field, you're gonna be like, oh god, what has he got planned with this thing?
Yeah, it's kind of like one of those Pokemon you want to double protect just to see what it does first.
Yeah.
And then you're like, okay, let's go for that. But yeah, I quite like this team. He has got grass. Oh, no fire. Okay, he hasn't got no fire type, but I don't know. Whether it's needed or not, we'll find out. But a really interesting team. Chris, what do you make of it?
I like the team. Like as I
Mm.
say, in Series 10, you want to pick mons that you know are going to be able to pick up KOs.
Yeah.
Obviously, last season I showed you all Whimsicott is quite capable of taking kills.
Yeah.
Um,
It is indeed. Yeah.
Like I am looking at his entire team, and I think everything in there can pick up KOs. He's got two megas.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mega Banette and
and-
Mega
and-
Salmons.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so he's got two megas, so you don't know what's going to come. Is he going to bring the prankster Burnett? And that thing still hits really, really hard as well.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
170 base attack.
Yeah.
so,
Nothing to
nothing
joke about. Yeah.
So yeah, like I look at them, everyone's going to pick up KOs. Maybe not Kecleon, but it can get stab on every move, so it's still going to do good damage. But yeah, I really like it. I think Magneton is an amazing pickup for. Is it tier 4?
Yeah, I believe it is. Yeah.
It's a great pickup, and like it's the only Eviolite user. Which is great. So like you know that like he can literally bring anything, and you know you're going to be dealing with a tough team here. Overall, I really like this team.
Yeah. The one thing I quite like about the Magneton is if he's facing like offensive steel types against his opponent, he can just magnet pull do the ability magnet pull and just sort of it's the same scenario as Gengar's not Gengar. Oh, actually, well, Mega Gengar, Shadow Tag, and Gothitelle, for example, it just traps them in. So that's something that's really cool. It's unfortunate that he hasn't got a Pokemon that can sort of take advantage of that, like a really strong ground type or anything, because that would have been really cool to have like the magnet pull and then have a ground type Pokemon that can like really take advantage of that ability. But yeah, I really like the team. Yeah. Right. On to the next team, and this is the last team of the championship division.
No, we've got another team after this one.
We've got another one after this.
Oh. I know he's in the Premiership though, isn't he?
No.
Oh no, there is another team.
Yeah, it's
I don't think I got that slide.
Pummeling Lickies is after this one.
Oh, apologies. He is. Yeah,
Yep.
apologies. I always get the guys mixed up. But no, this is the Tyranitar Tyrants, coached by Silver. Yeah. See, this is what I was going to say Jabba because he had Tyranitar in his last team name. Or did he?
No, I don't actually remember.
Did he not?
No, it was Sceptile was in his previous team name.
Oh, it was, yeah. Why did I think it? I don't know. But no, this is Silver's team, and similar to his, his co-worker, he plays singles, so he's gonna have like a team that sort of represents that. But to be honest, like most of these Pokemon are like double Pokemon rather than singles. But some familiar faces once again. He's picked up the Octillery.
Yeah, I think with Silver, he's we at the end of last season, obviously, unfortunately, was very, very unlucky to be relegated purely based on alphabetical order of the league, which is was not indicative of his ability in his season. To be honest, he just had a bit of a poor second half. But I think he's taken a lot of the advice we gave him around doubles and around draft leagues, and you can clearly tell that he's taken that into account with this team.
He really has.
Like some of the picks there, just really. I mean, he's got mons that he knows really well, so he can play it with strengths. The Crobat, the Octillery. Things like the Ferrothorn, he's going to know how to use. But he's picked up things like the Pelipper, which is with wide guard, the weather. It's going to keep the likes of the Ferrothorn going, and obviously can also buff Mega Blastoise. And he's got Klefki there as well that can set up either weathers and can also set up Misty Terrain. Then we saw the destructive power of Regidrago in Season 3 playoffs and the Season 4 qualifiers. This thing, if you leave it unchecked and just let it wreck house, it'll just drag an energy in your face and you can't stop it. But yeah, I think he's built he's built around his strengths, and I do really like the team. Crizzle, what do you think?
This is my favourite team.
Really?
Yeah, this is my favourite team in the championship. I don't know why, I'm just drawn to it.
All it's missing is a lightning rod user.
Honestly, like he could probably drop Cottony and pick up like Pikachu or something.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
And then he's got his lightning rod user or
Yeah.
the Typhlosion. Just something like I know he got sniped for Whimsicott, and so he just picked Cottony because like it does exactly the same thing as Whimsicott now because it gets Tailwind in this.
Yeah.
But yeah, he could probably look at it, drop the Cottony halfway through the season, and then like not look. But this team is
Yeah. Yeah, this is a really nice team. Like it's clearly like mostly a rain team, and you guys all know how I feel about rain. Yeah, like I mean he's got no problem with getting Tailwind up. That's for sure. He's got 3 there that can get Tailwind up. Yeah, I would the one thing that I'm like that would make this team like amazing is that lightning rod user because it protects Blastoise, it protects Pelipper, Octillery, and Crobat. Because at the moment he's quite weak to those electric types. Those electric types are going to give him a bit of a hard time.
Yeah. You just have Dugtrio as a like a pivot in if you can see an attack coming. I suppose
he does. Yeah. The cool thing as well, he's got weather control with Klefki and Cottony if he wants to. But Klefki, of course, can get that Rain Dance up. Prankster as well, so that's really great. It can also get screens up to make his Pokemon even bulkier. And Thunder Wave things for speed control and paralysis, of course. Ferrothorn, it is amazing in Rain because, of course, it doesn't want to take any fire damage. So in this format, it's amazing. He'll probably like using Ferrothorn because it's kind of like using a singles Pokemon, but in doubles. It's very like singles kind of like stalling kind of game.
Yeah.
But and then onto the Blastoise, of course, is his Mega. Matthew, you chose Mega Blastoise as well.
Yeah, I'm very excited to see that on his team.
Yeah, Mega Blastoise is just such.
It's so good, and because it's got Follow Me, unless they bring spreads to deal with the likes of the Regidrago or the Octillery, you can just he can Mega it, just build a bulky Mega Blastoise, and just keep spamming Follow Me if they don't have a taunt.
Yeah.
And Octillery, if you again is another mon like Regidrago, if you leave it unchecked and let it get a few spicy moody boosts, you're in big trouble.
Yeah, you are in serious trouble. Like its bulk is so impressive.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like if you're up against an Octillery, it's gonna get a boost that it wants. Unless you take it out turn 2 or 3. But it snowballs because gaining 2 and losing 1 every turn, eventually you're just going to be in a good position. And we saw last season Silver knows how to keep it alive.
Protect with leftovers. It worked so well for him. I'm very, very. There's 2 mons there in particular that really excite me, and I really want to do the cry of one of them, but I'm not going to do it. I'm going to deprive you all of that, but Kricketune and Wobbuffet, I'm just so very excited to see them both. Kricketune of all mons, I mean, why shouldn't it get Perish Song? I absolutely should get Perish Song because everything should want to faint when they hear it do its cry. And he can pair that so well with Wobbuffet, with the Shadow Tag.
Or Doug Trio.
Or Doug Trio. Yes, okay, Wobbuffet is kind of weak and its move pool is completely terrible, but if you can see what's coming and you've got Sasharin on it, you can time Miracle or counter perfectly and pick up KOs with this thing. It is not to be trifled with. So that he's got a lot of, and those sort of picks Silver really knows how to get the best out of, so it's going to be very exciting to see him use those.
Yeah, it is. And those of you who don't know, Silver and me have a bet going. His Kricketune has to get 8 KOs in the season, at least 3. Yeah, at least 3 direct kills as well. And if he does, I will get a T-shirt with Cricketoon, and I have to get Silver a T-shirt with Cricketoon.
Hell yeah.
So I'll make it. I'll make it like really cool looking, like saying Cricketoon, don't underestimate me or something.
No,
you
no,
know?
nothing like that. You should literally just have it on there going.
Yeah, yeah. But no, like this, I'm loving this team. But like I said, I think a Lightning Rod user would have like been the cherry.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that's always something he can grab in the break.
Yeah, in week 7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As you say, if you get sniped turn 1,
Yeah.
literally just before, you don't really know what you're going to do. So
Yeah, yeah. Because sometimes, like, if you get sniped turn 1, that can just throw your whole plans out the window. Because usually you pick up the Pokemon that you're basing your team around on turn 1.
Yeah.
So when you get sniped, you're like, okay, what am I gonna do now? But no, it's yeah, let's not forget actually that Cricketoon gets Technician as well.
Yeah.
So it can hit hard. Okay, so on to the final team, and this is the Pummeling Licky Lickies. This is Ted's team, and yeah, this is a really cool. Actually, I really like this team.
Yeah, I'm noticing some similarities between this and your team, Aaron.
Yeah, do you know what? I was just looking at it like this looks really familiar, and there are actually quite a few similarities. You're right. Yeah, like he's got his prankster Pokemon, which is a Riolu.
Yep.
Not of course like it's not the best, but it's not the worst either. You can tell he's probably going to be using it predominantly for the weather control and coaching. That's what you usually use Riolu for, you know.
Yeah, that paired next to Mega Swampert is going to be really kind of scary.
Exactly. Yeah, and he's got the other Mega in Manectric as well.
Yeah.
Oh, and Pidgeot. Let's not forget. Yeah,
Pidgeot.
yeah. I think you just said that, Chris. But yeah, that can be Mega'd as well. I always forget that. But yeah, he's a really well-rounded off team. He hasn't got a strong fire type, which is a bit unfortunate because it would have been like really nice to have that strong fire type so that Riolu can do Sunny Day with it.
you say that, but Hydreigon hits.
I was just about to say that.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, flamethrower from that thing.
Yeah.
Or Heatwave. It gets Heatwave as well, doesn't it?
Heatwave. I think he gets 5 last 2. So
yeah.
He's although he hasn't got stab fire, he's still got fire option with that Hydreigon.
Yeah.
Thing hits hard.
So. Yeah.
It's got 2 monsters with really good abilities. There is obviously Mega Swampert 4 times with the grass, but I'm pretty certain Miltank gets Sap Sipper. And then also he's got the Lightning Rod on Manectric as well if he chooses not to Mega it. So there's some some really good synergies here, and that'll work really well together.
Yeah, like you said, like Manectric helps to save, you know, the Celesteela and the Pidgeot. And then like you said, Sap Sipper, Miltank helps to you know, take that damage, that grass type damage that Swampert will undoubtedly try to be hit with. Especially in like grassy terrain set by his own Rillaboom. That's something that he probably should be careful of, you know, because you're boosting their grass type attacks. So even like a little seed, like the tiniest seed bomb would probably take it out.
Yeah, with the grassy terrain, he's got the Comfy next to it though. So like whatever he's got next to Comfy, if it's not being taken out, it can heal like 66% in grassy terrain with floral healing. So it keeps things alive longer.
Yeah, exactly. Unless I think like in terms of like his speed control, he's got the Comfy as well for Trick Room or Tailwind. And Pidgeot probably gets it as well. I can imagine so as a bird. But so he has got that speed control. Celesteela is of course really good in the rain, so Riolu can help with that. And it can be like one of those types of Pokemon like Ferrothorn, where it can just keep leech seeding things and causing problems, making you switch and stuff like that. Linoon, Belly Drum Linoon, I like it because it hits like a truck when it gets that belly drum off. No redirection. I just noticed. Or has oh no, Riolu.
Yeah, Riolu's got follow me.
Yeah, yeah,
Redirection as well with lightning rod and the sap sippers and those sort of things.
yeah. There's nice synergy. I like the synergy going on with this team. I think there's something missing though. I don't know what it is, but I think I'm just. Do you know what it is that's putting me off? I think it's the double grass type that I'm not liking. I think that's the only thing.
Rosarid's a pretty good check to other grass types though, because you're maybe going to see other grass types come just to make use of Rillaboom bringing the terrain, and Rosarid's going to really check those grass types pretty handedly. I know it's kind of like frail as paper, but it also hits kind of strong as well. So
yeah, and it's pretty quick as well.
I think, as you said, I know the Hydreigon gets the fire move, but I think just an outright like a Firemon to get that stab would be really nice, considering the amount of weather running around.
Yeah, like that's what I mean. Like I know that he's got the weather control with Riolu, but then you're kind of like having to rely too much on Riolu there to keep the rain up. If someone comes with like pure sun, it's like you have to rely on your Riolu because nothing else can help you out. So I suppose it's kind of like if you're an opponent, get rid of Riolu, and then I'm okay. Just get the sun up afterwards.
Yeah. Like, to be fair, I don't see the issue with this team, which I have seen in the past, where like you look at say like 4 Mons and think if I get rid of them, I win this game. Like you've got about 6, 7 Mons here that are going to hit really hard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So like you can't just prep for certain things. You got to look out for the whole team here.
Yeah.
And Linu, like he's got if he's being brave, he could like follow me with Riolu, belly drum with Linoon, and then extreme speed. And take out 2 or 3 Mons.
Yeah, you're at least going to get some good damage off, if nothing else, with it, which is what you
will do.
Here.
Yeah. But no, cool team. I like it. Of course, I would like it though, because
it's basically your team.
But no. So yeah, good luck to Ted in this season. And we might see him in the Premier
Division. So I'm going to put you both on the spot here just to end things. Without really thinking too much thought, top 2 to get promoted and the other 2 to get into playoffs. Go.
Top 2 to get promoted.
So the teams who will finish first and second to be auto promoted, and the teams who will finish third and fourth and go into the relegation playoff.
I reckon Silva and Omar on the top 2.
Yeah. What about
and then
third and fourth?
I'd say Ted and I forgot the coach for the Razzle Dazzle.
Joe,
yeah. I'd say that team.
Yeah. Chris?
Right, okay. So I'm going with the Cuyahoga Canucks and California Bastiodons to take the top 2 spots.
Yep.
And if it wasn't for Jabba's track record, I'd definitely say him third, but he's got a bad track record. So sorry, Jabba. I think you're going to get the Razzle Dazzle Salazzles and Tyranitar Tyrants to get third and fourth.
Yeah.
That's not shots at all the other teams, but I think they've probably got something more about them at the moment.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely agree with that first and second, the Chris, Kyo, Canucks, and Oma. I think definitely. I mean, Oma especially. I think if he's on it and he's not trying too much funny stuff, I think Oma is one of, if not the strongest coach in the league. And then third and fourth, definitely. I think Silva is in the shout. I'm going to be brave and I'm going to put Jabba in that 4th spot.
Okay.
I'm being really brave there, and again, like Chris said, this is not a shot at any other coaches here, but I think Jabba has proved in the past that he's a more than capable player. I think just
definitely.
If things start going wrong, it tends to be when it kind of like domino effect kind of goes wrong. But if he's able to put a bit of a winning run together like he did at the start of season 2, he played some really nice stuff in the first 2 matches of season 2, and I think a lot of people were like, ooh, like we might have a bit of a player on our hands here, and then it kind of went a bit Pete Tong after that. But he's built. It's got my favorite team, and he's built probably one of the stronger teams in the league. So I'd be really excited to see what they can do. Yeah.
Cool.
All right.
But no, that is everything from us, guys. So we wish the best of luck to each and every coach in the championship division, regardless of where you place at the end of it. And we all hope you have a good time as well in the BPL. To those of you who are new to the league, so we welcome you. And like I said, good luck.
Yeah, wish you all the best, guys.
Yeah. Right. So thank you, Mr. Star, and thank you, Mr. Crizzle, and we'll see you all guys very soon.
Yeah. See you later, dudes.
Bye. See you later.
Yeah, bye.